friends, it's Bibiana and welcome back to my channel. I think we just had a little yawn there from you. And today I'm coming to you with like an update slash Q&A, really, just to answer a lot of the questions I got sent in. I did a little shout out on my previous video and another few on Snapchat. So if you're not following me, be sure to follow Bibiana Yeti. So we'll start with the first question, which has been the most popular one, which is, what is Idu's name? And sorry about the lighting situation. I'm using natural light, so it just keeps on cutting in and out. The twins are in the other room with hubby, so I'm just trying to work with this right now. So basically, Olivia and Noah, who we call Tyra and Kende, because that's the Yoruba name used to refer to twins. So likewise, Idu is the name of the child born after twins, hence we've been calling him baby boy Idu. But we have got an official first name for him. I feel like I should cue a drum roll right now. But his official first name is Caleb. So this is baby boy Caleb, so it'll be Caleb Idu. And me and my husband really loved that name. We had the naming ceremony its first week, but we'd already decided to go with that name, and we just really love it. It means bold and strong and faithful and dedicated to God. And that's really our hope with our kids, that they, they're strong in their faith and they're faithful towards Christ. And so it was really important for us to pick a name with a good meaning, a biblical meaning. So that's going to be his name, and I just really love it. So for all those asking, yes, this is baby boy Caleb Idu. The next question is from Danielle. I'm just going to read it so I don't mess up these questions. And she said, when do I think kids should sleep alone? Now, I had the twins sleeping in their own room by around 3 months. I know that might seem early for some, but they were ready. Like, we'd already got them on a pretty good sleep routine, and it just worked well for us. It's a lot of work having 2 cots or 2 Moser baskets in our room, and the twins had a nice nursery we'd made for them well before they were born. And at the same time, I always thought they always have each other, so I wasn't too worried, I guess, about having them in a separate room. So, and obviously we had cameras and everything. I was checking them all the time. I know the recommendations do say about 6 months, but I think go by your own instinct. Obviously not too early, because obviously I'll carry a few risks of putting a child alone by themselves that early. But by around 3 months for the twins, and for Idu it's the same thing. It's just going to be when he's ready. So he's sleep training at the moment. We've not really got him on a proper strict routine. There's not really much you can do with a 1-month-old on a routine, but we started a sleep routine with them. So if you see on my snap, I try and show regularly when they take their nap, and I show them all napping at the same time. And that's one thing we started doing that's worked really, really well. So they all bang on around 1 or 2 o'clock, depending on how the day's gone. They all take their nap at the same time. Because obviously he's feeding on demand, I can't really do much else with the rest of the routine, but that's one thing I'm happy we've got. One milestone, I guess, we've got through. So in terms of when he'll go in his own room, I'm not too sure yet. So it might be 6 months, might be sooner. We'll see how it goes. So the next question is, how do we manage the different personalities of our kids without making one feel inferior to the other? And the reason why this girl asked this question is because she said that she always got compared to her older sister, and that affected her self-esteem, and she always felt pressure to be like her sister, and always felt like she wasn't really good enough to her parents. That kind of made me really sad reading that. And I feel like for me, it was really important for us to make sure we treated the twins as individuals and we didn't compare them. So when we just had the twins, we were really proactive about making sure we spent quality time with them. And yes, we noticed things immediately. It's easy to notice differences and think, oh, Olivia's walking at 9 months. Why is Noah not walking at 9 months? Or Olivia's saying this word. Why is he not saying that word? Or he can do this and she can't do that. And I think more so for twins, it was really easy for us to compare because we just kind of assumed they're the same age, if we're doing it at the same time. And I realized very early on that that just isn't really a good idea, because when they're older and in the world as we see it as adults, we know how it is, comparison, looking at ourselves to other, even when we compare ourselves to other mummies and you get in your little groups, it can breed a lot of discontentment afterwards, because you think, oh my gosh, am I not a good enough mom? Likewise with children, they are very sensitive to this thing. So we want to make sure we start really early with the twins. And one book that's really helped me, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, it's called The 5 Love Languages. It's by Chapman. It's written one already for relationships, and this is another one he's written for children. So 5 Love Languages for children. And me and my husband are going through that book right now, and it's just really opened up our eyes, especially to just parenting and thinking ahead as the children grow up to become, you know, young adults, teenagers and everything, and just being really proactive about learning their love languages. And that all starts by spending quality time with them. So one thing we made sure we did with the twins before Idu came was we'd have one-on-one time with them. So it would either be me hanging out with Olivia and we do paint each other's nails, or we bake, we just go out shopping, and then Sam would take out Noah, whether or not he just went to the park to run around, and then we'd switch, and then I'd have time with Noah one-on-one, and Olivia would have time with her daddy one-on-one, which is usually a little date night. She always called it her date night, and they go to like an ice cream shop, which was really nice. And that just allowed us to really just show them that they are loved, and they're loved as individuals. And also when, you know, we're really keen on reading and stuff with them, you know, the twins they're pretty sharp for 2-year-olds, and a lot of that's because we put a lot of effort into, you know, having read time with them and stuff, and some of the homeschool activities we do. And it's very easy to compare them then again, because Olivia she's pretty quick, and sometimes she'll be the one teaching Noah afterwards. But we try and make it fun, and we, after each one is, let's say we get Olivia spells her name or something, or writes her name, and then Noah's struggling a bit, we'll be like, okay, can Olivia, you want to help your brother? And not be like, oh, Noah, why didn't you get it? And she will then come to her brother and go, I'll help you. And we wanted to create that sense of like a loving environment where they feel like they're helping each other. Never want to get a situation where they're making fun of each other. I know sibling rivalry is always going to be a common thing, but as parents, we can do the best we can to make sure we don't encourage it, because that just breeds a lot of comparison, and the rivalry can become, you know, something a little bit worse. So we have to make sure, you know, we encourage them to love each other and just, you know, celebrate each other. So the next question is from Nicola Love. How are the twins adjusting? And, you know, they're adjusting just great. They're loving their role as big brother and sister. They're always checking up on their brother and trying to help out. Olivia definitely loves trying to help me feed him, because I express my milk and she sees hubby helping me feed, so she's always like, I can help you, I can do it. And Noah's always trying to carry his brother. So you kind of have to have eyes at the back of your head with toddlers, because they obviously want to do a lot more than they can, but I'm glad that it's coming from a place of love. So that's really exciting to see them just always wanting to hang out and play with their brother. I just know he's just not ready for them just yet. Onyeka asks, how are you coping with 3 under 3? Do you have any routine for the kids? So yes, we do have a routine. I think the most important thing to help, especially in our case with 3 preschoolers, is a routine. I cannot stress that enough. So we have a sleep time routine. They know everything they're doing during the day, all their activities, and we also have a meal plan and everything, just to help make life a lot easier, because, you know, having 3 kids, 3 young kids, isn't easy. I think one of the biggest reasons women get the baby blues, in my opinion, is the lack of sleep. And that can easily happen because you're just kind of running on a child's timetable, and it's hard obviously with a newborn to have any kind of routine with them. But when we can, we try and establish, what we've tried to establish early is a sleep routine, which is going really well. And like I said, they all nap now at the same time. So even just that half an hour to an hour of just rest time is really important and really helpful. And she also asked if I would do a day in the life of video. So yeah, I'd love to do that. I did one when I had the twins. I did one for day in the life of a mom with 1-year-old twins. That was really popular. So I could definitely do one a day in the life of with all 3 of us together, and just show you kind of stuff we do from the morning to the evening, and the kind of routine we're working with. You know, it doesn't always go to plan, but I think just the fact we have that in place, the days that it does work, it's amazing. Hello friends. You're so yummy and so handsome. So the final question is from Adjua, and she says, will I be exclusively breastfeeding, and if I did, with the twins? And this goes hand in hand with a lot of questions I've got asked, which is on tips on breastfeeding. I don't know if this should be a whole video by itself, so this one isn't too long, but I'll just quickly run through some of my top tips. And if you want to see a separate video, just let me know in the comment below, or otherwise I'll try and discuss it a lot more in the vlogs, which are coming back soon. So with the breastfeeding, I did exclusively breastfeed with the twins for the first 2 months. Basically, I had them, they were breastfeeding up until, Noah breastfed up until 6 months, Noah breastfed up until a year, and Olivia breastfed up until 6 months. But in terms of exclusively, it was just the first couple of months, I believe, because the twins were big babies, I'm not going to lie, like, they were huge. Noah came out, like, Caleb came out 8.5 pounds, you saw that on the vlog, and Noah was 8, he was almost 8.5 pounds as well, and the liver was almost 8 pounds, so I had 16 pounds of baby. So, you know, I definitely give myself a pat on the back for trying. With hindsight, at the time I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad mom, it's sucking, I can't produce enough milk for these kids. And I realized I had big babies, and by 2 months the twins went through like the hugest growth spurt, and I was getting exhausted just even trying to produce that much milk, and I was doing everything I could. So we supplemented with formula. It was just at night time, which helped when they went to bed. So I'm really excited because Caleb is exclusively breastfed, and with him my milk flow is so much better now. Initially it was a struggle, especially the first couple of weeks. It took a while for my milk to come in, but now I'm producing so much milk, enough to refrigerate, and I think I'm even going to be putting some in the freezer very soon as well. So that's just been a really great thing for me. And some of you asked me for tips on how to produce more breast milk. I think the main things for me that have worked is drinking a lot of water. I drink at least 2 liters a day, sometimes more, and also foods with a lot of fluid like ogi, which is my Nigerian food. I'm not gonna lie, I hate the taste and the smell of ogi. It's only because my mother and mother-in-law have had me eating it. It might just be a bit of an old wives' tale, but I think that's working too, but probably more so because of the fluid content in there. So that's helped. And also making lactation smoothies. I make my own smoothies or any kind of lactation snacks, so things with oats inside it, and make sure I put some chia seeds in there or avocados. You need those healthy fats because breastfeeding uses up so much energy. Some people put brewer's yeast inside there as well, or maybe some almonds, and that's really helped me as well with my milk flow. So I make sure I have those daily. And another thing that's really nice, this lovely lady contacted me who owns a small business called Booby Smoothies. She started it, and it's really good. She makes smoothies for breastfeeding mamas, and that's what the smoothie is specifically for. I've sampled some of them and they are amazing, and I feel that they've really helped with my milk flow as well. So I'll definitely link her down below. It's super important is to nurse. I really can't stress that enough. Especially I found that at the beginning when I wanted to give up, the most important thing they always kept on encouraging me to is just keep on trying. And there's no reason why your milk flow can't improve as long as you keep on trying, even if you are having to supplement with formula initially. So one thing I do with Caleb now is after I finish feeding him, I always make sure I put him on both sides as well. So I really encourage that, not just doing one side then the other side. But I finish feeding, I know he's full, I put him down and then I grab my pump straight away, and I just use that to empty both sides. Even if it's just a bit that comes out, I want to make sure that my chest is completely empty. And I do that mainly because breast milk forms because of supply and demand. So basically you could say, oh, but he's had enough because he's full, but what I'm doing is trying to prepare myself when he has that growth spurt, which I wasn't prepared for with the twins. They had that growth spurt around 2 or 3 months and they just shot up, and my body just wasn't ready to produce that much milk for 2 already very big children. So by kind of training my body already, by making sure that I'm emptying what's there, it's naturally going to be able to produce more milk, which has now helped me to be able to have enough milk for storage as well. So Sam and any family friends can help me feed Caleb as well afterwards with the extra milk. Ew, bless you. God bless you. You smiled? Did you smile? Oh my gosh, the smiles are amazing. Nothing, we don't give the twins any kind of dummy or pacifier. I think that's just a personal preference, and also because I think the time they spend with the pacifier is time lost with them, you know, stimulating your own chest to produce milk. You okay? I love it. And then the last thing I suggest is having some skin to skin. So that's something me and Caleb even do now, especially when he has tummy time and baby massage and everything. We just hold him on my chest and we just have some skin to skin. And I feel that's really helped with my letdown sensation in producing more milk. So those probably be my top tips. And like I said, if you want a few more, me to go in more detail, I'll be happy to share them in another video or on the upcoming vlogs. Alright, so that is it from us. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed meeting baby boy Caleb. I'm just going to let you say bye-bye. You say bye-bye. Say bye, friends. I'm 1 month old now. Guys, it's just crazy when I look at him, especially when I see him in Noah's clothes, just thinking, oh my gosh, that's like Noah's only 2 and he's only 1 month, and look at the difference already. It makes you realize how quickly this time flies by and how much you should treasure each and every moment, and I surely do. And I'm definitely loving this mohawk. Look at that. I don't know where he got it from, but it's pretty cool. Alright, do you want to say bye again? You've been really good, son. You've been really, really good. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we shall see you in my next video. Bye, guys. And how old are you?
2 years old. 2 years old.
What's Daddy's name?
Love.
Daddy's name is Love?
Yeah.
And what's Daddy's name?
Love.
How old is Daddy?